Okay, so making lamb ribs with honey and pomegranate sip is really quite simple, and there's so many variations you can actually make for the lamb ribs. So what you're going to need really is just a nice selection of good molasses, honey based, sort of something that's sticky, so you can make a really good sticky ribs. And I've chosen lamb because that's my preferable meat, although I have to admit I don't often do meat. And I was taken around some Lebanese halal butchers yesterday, and I saw the butchers chopping up the ribs, and I thought that they looked really quite tasty, so I thought I'd bring back some home and try and experiment again. I have made them once with pork ribs, and they were absolutely delicious. Anyhow, I'm going to show you how to make these ribs today with the lamb. And these are what you got. This is the ingredients you're going to need. You're going to need some honey. You're going to need some pomegranate syrup, and they come from the Asian shops or the Middle Eastern shops as well. I've got some tamari here and some rice vinegar, but also you can use mirin, which is a Japanese wine, cooking wine. You can use fresh garlic. I'm going to use some garlic granules. And I've got some chili here. And some Chinese vinegar. I'm using the Chinese vinegar and the Japanese rice vinegar because I don't have the mirin, and I think it'll make quite a nice combination. When you start cooking, you start getting a sense for the different flavors and kind of improvising from the recipe. This recipe is actually from Nigel Slater's really beautiful book. All his books are amazing, and it is from Eat. So I really highly recommend it, and it's a great little book to take, and it's almost like a Bible and compendium of very, very simple meals. So here I have a plate full of the ribs, and I've brought it out in room temperature from the fridge, which I always feel is a better way of using any meats, and most people will tell you that that's a really good thing to do. So this is, you need about 300 grams. It depends on how much you want to make. This is enough for two, but there's actually about 400 grams here. So this is the meat. I'm just going to put this to one side, and I want you to think with regarding the sauces that it's 3 of everything, a tablespoon, but 3 times of everything. So we want 3 tablespoons of the honey, three of the pomegranate. This is the syrup. And the soy sauce, or if you're on gluten-free, then you can use Tamari, which is what I use. Okay, now I'm going to do not 3 of the whole vinegar. I'm just going to do a tablespoon of that, which is the white vinegar, the mirin version of the Japanese vinegar. So it's a Japanese vinegar I used there. And you can see this is quite dark. This is a Chinese vinegar, which is a lot darker. All right, now you need about a teaspoon of the chili. And again, depends on how hot you want it. And I'm going to put about a good serving of garlic granules. Give it a really good stir. You can taste it. Okay. And you just place the meat in the bowl. All of it. And here we have the ribs, and just give it a really good coating. So it's beautifully coated, as you can see, nice and golden. And I'm going to leave this now for about 30 minutes, an hour. You know, again, you can also marinate this the day before. The longer you marinate it, the more it actually sort of marinates and gets into the flesh tissues, and obviously the tastier it is. So about a good 30 minutes will suffice. And yeah, I'm just going to leave it for now. Okay, so here's the marinated ribs that I made earlier and prepared earlier. So just give it one really good mix before you put it in. I'm going to actually put mine in a baking dish. Nigel Slater in his book actually pan fries it and caramelizes it at first, gets it really quite sort of sticky and caramelly, and then he will put 100 millimeters of water in a pan with a lid on and cooks it for another 5 minutes, and then takes the lid off and then cooks it for another few more minutes. I've done it this way, and I find that this is actually really succulent when you do it this way. And this is kind of more like a slow cooking way, which is kind of nice because you don't have to worry about sort of managing it on the hob. So I'm going to put mine in the dish, and you can use also a non-stick oven dish. So here the whole thing goes. And make sure it's got enough space. So you can see here that I've got the lamb, I'll just show it to you, spread quite well in the dish. And I'm simply just going to cover it with foil. Put it in the oven, a very low temperature oven for about 140 degrees, which is about gas mark 2. And I'm going to allow it just to slow cook through. And I'm going to do that for about 30 minutes, maybe 40. Because it's on low temperature, it will just kind of really cook the meat through. And then I'm going to turn the temperature right up to about 180 to 200 so it can actually just really caramelize. And I'll show you the end result once that happens. So like I said, I'm just going to leave it in the oven for about 40 minutes, 30 minutes. I'll probably smell it. You can always tell when something's cooking quite well because the smell will come through. And I will then turn up the oven to about 180 to 200, and then we'll get the end result, which will be a really nice, very sticky, very juicy ribs. So I'll see you later. You can see how amazing it looks. Tastes very good. I'm going to try that piece. No. Okay. Now I'm just going to put the grill on just to give it a bit of a glazing so it's a bit stickier. Right. Once it's grilled a bit, just let it set for a while just so that all the sticky residue will settle, and just start stacking it on a plate. I'm just stacking the ribs, making sure all the sauce. And you can use the rest in a small bowl as a dipping sauce if you like. But here we are. So here we have the ribs, which looks pretty delicious. And I'm just going to take one and try it. That's good. Very good. Crunchy, really juicy, and the taste really delicious. That's quite a big piece, but anyway, hope you got the benefit of this video. Really simple to make. Doesn't take long to prepare, doesn't take long to cook, and improvised and taken from Nigel Slater's cookbook, Eat. Thanks a lot. Speak to you soon. Bye.